The number of those feared dead begins at 10,000. The UN estimates 600,000 people have been displaced by this disaster. The cost of all this damage could be as high as $14 billion. The storm surge completely washed away some villages and towns.
Do you think that Tacloban will look like this? If there were no sufficient assistance that we got, no, from different groups, it from the national government, from the international agencies, no, from private sector, from donors, it will not look like this. The progress that we have now, one concrete project, no, infrastructure. For those of you who can still remember how we look like when Yolanda happened, everything was razed down to the ground. But you did not know that before Yolanda, many of the government buildings were not repaired. They didn't have the funds. But when Yolanda happened, the rehabilitation after Yolanda was formulated. So, there were assistance for the rehabilitation of government offices. So, even our city hall. So, marami ng additional buildings, no? It's because of the funds that were allocated by the national government. Barangay halls, hospitals, we have the biggest Eastern Visayas Medical Regional Center, no? Has state-of-the-art equipment. It only happened after Yolanda. We were actually better off than before Yolanda. I mean, in terms, if you look at trade, if you look at how businesses are sprouting, we are more progressive than we were before Yolanda. So I would suggest na we don't take everything that we read, especially if it is unverified, hook, line, and sinker. There are records and documents that can speak for themselves. In terms of relief, alam nyo ba, ilang buwan hindi kami bumili ng bigas dahil marami kaming natanggap. Marami pa ang dumarating. Ano? Hindi emergency hanggang mag-rehabilitation na, meron pa rin dumarating. It was an opportune time for local governments to make use of that opportunity, to maximize the resources that were given to us. And for us as a people to learn from the lessons of Yolanda. And also to be grateful of the assistance that we have received.